Hi guys, welcome to this deep stretch designed for runners. All you need for this is a resistance band or the rope around your dressing gown, a scarf or something like that. We're going to be using it towards the end of the stretch. So grab that, feel free to pause, go grab that and have that nearby. We won't need that to start with. So we're really going to be getting into those muscles and areas around the joints that cause us a lot of issues as runners, and so a lot around the hips. I've had requests for calves as well, so we'll be working around the calves. But before we do any of that, we're going to start with a little nerve release around our neck, spine, and shoulders. We've got tension here that's going to feed through to tension down in our running limbs. So we really do want to look after the tops of our back as well to promote good posture, keep those shoulders back and strong. With this nerve release, it can help relieve pain, but also improve that range of movement. So start by bringing your feet underneath you, sort of your running strides underneath your hips. And just take a moment, roll those shoulders back and down, be aware of your stance. Are you sitting comfortably? Is your pelvis tilting forwards or tilting back? Have we got it quite level? Be aware of that and come to a point where you are comfortable. Those shoulders back and down. Just going to drop our chin to our chest and bring it up, looking up. So starting gentle. This is a stretch. This session is a stretch I recommend to do, not necessarily straight after a hard session. If you've done a hard session today, I'd do it later on in the day. Or even the next day. Now we're going to take our left ear down to our shoulder, towards it. Don't bring the shoulder to the ear, we're driving the ear to the shoulder. To deepen this stretch, we take our right hand and point the fingers out. Palm points towards the ground. Feel this stretch down the side of our neck here. And release. Let's swap over. Drop the ear the other way. Driving it down to the shoulder, make sure that shoulder isn't creeping up to the ear. And let's take the opposite hand and point the fingers out. Once more we swap. Right fingers point out as we drop the ear to the left. And swap again. Keep that shoulder away from the ear, let your ear drop, don't bring the shoulder up, and release. Let's take that right hand and point the fingers behind us, palm points down. And we're having a little nerve release here. We're just going to flex the hand backward and forward. So known as nerve flossing. Flex the fingers behind us, bring that hand just slightly behind your hips. We're going to bring it slowly up to the side. As soon as you feel a pull of your arm, we're going to flex and release the hand again. So we're going to bring it slightly behind, bring it up. As soon as you feel a pull, flex and release. Be different for everybody. Working our way up to shoulder height, flexing and releasing. Good, keep that shoulder away from the ear and bring it back down. The bottom, flex and release. And we're going to go again. So flex the hands, slightly behind the body, we bring it up. As soon as you feel a pull, that's your cue to flex and release and then move on. Feel free, if this feels good, you can always pause the video and spend a little bit longer here. And flex and release at the top. And bring it back down. Keep the hand flexed as we bring it, circle 3 times behind us. Send it away, shoulder height. We're flexing the hand, so not pointing the fingers, flexing. And we're going to turn away from the arm to feel that pull. Turn away. And again, we do 3 circles. And stretch, flex the hand. And then we're going to take the circles forward. 1, 2, and 3. And again, we heel, put the heel towards the wall or the door and pull your body away to feel stretched down the back. You move it in any which way feels good for you. Once more. The hand and pull the body away. So we're pushing the hand. You can even use the other arm and pulling the top of our back away from it and release. Give that shoulder a couple of rolls. It should feel quite different now to the side we haven't done. So let's start by flexing the hand. The fingers point back. We're going to flex and release each way. Fingers point behind us, heel slightly behind the body as we bring it up. As soon as we feel a pull, that's our cue. Might feel very different on each side. The top, we just flex. And we bring it back down slowly. At the bottom, flexing the wrist. Our arms work really hard for us running. They dictate how fast we run. They dictate our stride length as well and our pace, the turnover of our strides. So it's really important that we actually really do release around the shoulders. And we go again. Flexing at any point you feel a pull. Might feel less than this time. At the top. Go for a few. Remember, you can always pause and do a little bit more. And slowly bring it down. And hit 3 rolls back. Behind us, we flex and turn away from the arm. You can always do this stretch with the wall as well, which is more intense. 3 more. Bring it away from you, turn away. Try and put that heel to that wall behind you or the door. And let's take 3 forward. Put the heel over, you can always use the other arm pull away. Pull the chest away, push the hand away. 3 more. And go again. And release. Just take both those arms, a few circles back, a few circles forward. And release. Okay, then come to our back. Feet underneath our hips. Going to tuck our chin to our chest. You may already feel a nerve pull down your spine. We're very slowly going to work our way rolling down. At any point you feel a pull, we nod the head. So we tuck the chin to the chest, slowly roll down. You feel a pull down your spine, we nod a couple of times and continue. You may even feel a pull down to your hips. At the bottom, we slowly roll up. Reach the arms up, little back bend, and we go again. Tuck the chin to the chest, slowly roll down. Any point you feel the pull, that's our cue to nod, to release the nerves, to stretch. And slowly bring it up. And reach. Once more. Chin to chest. We roll down. We feel the pull. That's our cue to nod. Keep that chin tucked in. And at the bottom, just going to rest a moment. Flex the knees, extend, flex, extend. So bend and lengthen. Good, lengthen. We're going to walk our hands forward towards the top of the mat. Then push the hips high in that down face position. Here, do what feels good. Maybe bending one knee and then the other. Pushing the other heel down. Still the feet. Push your body towards the front of your thighs. Push the heels towards the ground. It doesn't matter if they get there. And release the knees down. Take the knees wide as your mat. Sink back onto your heels, reaching forwards, sink down. Bring your chest down, your head down, elbows down. Great stretch for the back, great stretch for the inner thigh. Now keep the hips where they are, and we're going to walk the hands all the way over to the left and pop your right hand on top of your left hand. Sink back down. Feel that stretch down the outside of your right side, maybe from the armpit all the way to your hip. And let's go the other way. Walk it all the way over to the right, keeping the hips where they are. Left hand on top of right and sink down. And bring it back in. Bring the knees parallel again, come up to kneeling. Here's one for those that are asking for the calves. Step that left foot forward. If you need to protect your knee, pop something under your right knee. That left knee's got kind of right angle behind the knee, so it's not too far forward. We're going to put our weight on that left thigh. Send the knee over the toes. Feel the stretch down the calf. Really find, you take your hands away, might feel the difference. I really find just putting that pressure on the thigh. Great, if you do have knee issues, don't go as far. You can play around with your foot positioning. Maybe you feel it a bit more if you bring it a bit closer. Or maybe for you, it's a little bit further away. Just play around with it. Sending those knees over the toes. Feel that stretch all the way down the calf, maybe even into the Achilles. And hold the stretch in the same position. These stretches move. So I pull mine a little bit closer because that feels good, moving down into the Achilles there. And release. We're going to take that leg, take a bigger step forward to allow some room for our hips to sink down. We're working on the front of our right hip, our hip flexors. These get really tight for us runners because our quads are so dominant. So it's the right side we're looking at. We're sinking those hips low, low, low. We can push into the left knee, again sending that knee over ankle. Here, option to stay here with your hands here. Maybe it feels better to raise the arms, clasp behind your back, or my favorite, behind your head. It's an intense stretch. You can progress it. You have to stay in the same position. Keep thinking about sinking those hips down. And keep breathing. You can change. Maybe we'll move back to hand over thigh, whatever feels good. Holding these stretches for a bit longer today to really get into those deep muscles. And release. Bring it back up. We're going to take that left foot now and bring it all the way over to the right of the mat. So we can drop the left knee down The left shin down, straighten that right leg behind us as we come into this pigeon posture. Your left foot is very close to your right hip flex. Making sure our hips are square over the mat. Maybe you'll hold it here. You can come down to your elbows if that feels good. The aim of this stretch is to really get into our glute and our hip on our left side. You might also feel it in the hamstring, the back of the left thigh, or even the front of the right hip. So play around with it again. That's the theme of this. None of the stretches have to look exactly how I'm doing it. Just aiming to find that stretch there. I find if I pull myself up and over that front leg and sink down, I feel it deeper. Breathe into it. Keep thinking about sinking those hips down. It's a lovely stretch to relax in. And when you're ready, come back up to your hands. Tuck the right toe onto the mat, toes. Send the left leg back, and we're going to send those hips high again. I'm going to pedal the feet again. You can feel a massive difference in the left foot, where we've stretched the calf, versus the right, where we haven't yet stretched that calf. And we're going to drop the knees down. Step the right forward. So you've got a right angle at the knee, more or less. And then putting the weight on that right thigh, send that right knee forward over the toes. Sinking down over that thigh. Really put the effort in to stretch down this calf. Go and play around your foot positioning. Might feel a bit better closer towards you or further away. It's really difficult to get into these lower calf muscles. This is a great one, especially if you've been doing hills. A few more seconds here. And release. Let's take a bigger step forward with that right. So we can sink those hips down. And send that knee over the ankle again. Sinking that left hip down. If you're wobbling, you may need to take your legs a bit further apart. Push away from the thigh. Option to raise the arms. Bring the arms behind you and down. So my favourite is to have the hands behind the head. Feel that deep stretch. You might also feel it come up into the abdominals a little. Keep sinking down. Keep sending that knee forward. One side feels very different to the other. You can press pause and hold a bit longer on one side. To help even out those imbalances. Few more moments here. And release. Let's take that right foot. Bring it all the way over to the left. Drop the knee, the shin down, send the left leg long. So you may be more like this. All depends on the tightness of the hips. You may be able to bring that foot away from the hip crease a little bit more. Think about sending the hips down, making sure you're not rolling to one side. Our hips are over the mat. If it feels good, feel free to sink down into those elbows, forearms. And find the best position for you to really feel that stretch in the right glute. And the right hip. As you hold these stretches, it might ease off a little bit, and that's your opportunity to deepen the stretch. Sink the hips further down. When you're ready, come back to our hands, tuck the left toes onto the mat, swoop up, send those hips high. And we can hold the down face. We'll take the opportunity for an extra calf stretch, gently pedaling the feet. Send both heels down towards the ground. And drop the knees down, bring the knees under hips, hands under shoulders, tuck the belly button in, forcing us to round our back. Tuck the chin to the chest, rounding the back as much as you can, pulling the belly button through to your spine, then release, look forward, arching the other way. You don't have to hold this still. I find sending hips one way, and then the other way really nice, sort of get into those side abdominals, the obliques. And again, bring it back to center, pull the belly button in, arching up. Tuck the chin to your chest. Rounding those shoulders. And release, look forwards. Arching the back the other way. Good, bring it to a flat back position. We're going to bring those big toes together. And from here, we're going to take our knees wide. You might need to shift your hands slightly forward to come into this frog position. So the legs look like frog legs. Great hip opener. We're driving the hips towards the ground. You may prefer to do it the other way from your mat to perhaps support your knees. The knees go wide, the hips drive down. We keep the abdominals braced, so they're strong to support, and sink those hips down. Some of you may come onto your elbows and come right down, keeping the feet down on the ground. This is a position that we want to come out of quicker than we should, so hold it. Rotate the other way again so you can see. Now we're going to straighten those legs and lower onto our tummies. Reach behind, grab the left foot in the left hand. Push the hips forward into the mat. Push your foot into your hand and your hand into your foot. So we're not just holding it, we just hold it without much thought. I'm literally getting nothing in the front of the thigh. Really think about driving those hips forward and create a little bit of tension in the hand and the foot to feel the stretch in the front of your thigh, your quadriceps. These are very strong in runners and get very tight. It's really important we stretch them. Again, you don't have to hold it in one position. Try taking your foot out or across your body. Find where it feels best. Our muscles aren't just one block. They're made up of a lot of fibers, so we want to get them at different angles to find the tightness so we can really release. Holding for a few more seconds, keep pushing those hips forward. Gently release. Let's swap over. Right hand into right foot. Push the hip forward, push the foot into hand. And again, if I just hold the foot, there's nothing. If I push the foot into the hand, hand to the foot, and the hips forward, I can really feel that down the front of the leg. That's what we're looking for. You can take it out, find a different angle for the stretch. And gently release. From here, let's roll onto our backs. Either right foot on the ground or right leg long, whatever feels better for you, because we're going to send the left leg up to the sky, holding behind the thigh or the calf, not the knee. You'll notice if you bring your legs straight, you won't be able to get your leg as high. Personally, I find just with the foot down, I can get deeper in to the hamstring. Here, we want to point the toe towards the ceiling. Feel the stretch down the front of the foot. We point the toe towards us. Ceiling towards us. Do a few of these in your own pace to stretch the front of the foot and the shin. Maybe circling your ankle. Flick the toes in different directions. See what feels good. And then point the toes down towards you. Option here to grab hold of your resistance band, scarf, whatever you've got, hook it around your foot to help support the stretch. I find it really does deepen the stretch there. You've got a lot more control of it, the leg, and pull it closer. Focus on straightening that knee, keeping the shoulders down. Point those toes down. If you've got your foot on the mat, we're now going to straighten that right leg. Keeping the left hip down, we're going to take the left leg over the right side of the body. Keeping that leg straight. Feel the stretch. We're looking for the stretch to go down the outside of the thigh, maybe the outside of the calf. Feel it from the hip. This is a fantastic one for the IT band. A lot of us who get issues with our knee, it's actually coming from the hip. The tight IT band is often the culprit. So if we can stretch and release there, it can often make our knees, our calf, our ankles feel so much better. Put those toes towards you. Keep that left hip down. Gently bring it back to center. Flex the knee and release. Let's go with the right side. So right leg goes up, points to the sky, points down, back to the sky. Do this in your own time. Maybe you're going to circle your ankle a few times each direction. Find where it feels tight. Hold it for a moment and then move. And the front of the foot, front of the shin are really hard muscles to get to in a stretch. I find this is a brilliant way of reaching those muscles. Then we're going to point those toes down towards us, concentrate on the back of the thigh. So option to have your left foot down or straight, whatever feels better. An option to hook your resistance band, scarf, or whatever around your foot. Focus on straightening that leg, pulling it towards your body, keeping the shoulders down. Those toes pointing down towards you. Then we're all going to straighten that left leg, keep the right hip down as we bring that right leg over to the left. Feel that stretch go from the hip down to the knee, maybe even down to the ankle. And that leg straight, point the toes towards you. to deepen the stretch. Again, as you release, you might get a little bit more movement. And bring it back to center, gently release. Bring both feet down. We're going to take our feet really wide. We're going to do lots of work around the hips. We're going to work on internal hip rotations. Take feet as wide as the mat. If you don't have a mat, there's a hand span from your hips, pushing the pelvis into the ground. We're then going to drive the knees towards each other. They do not need to touch. It's the action of driving them towards each other to touch that we're looking for. If your knees easily touch, take your feet wider. Keep pushing the pelvis lower back into the mat. Feel the stretch around the outside of the hips, maybe even the inner thigh. We're running, we're always going in the same motion, and our hips are designed as a ball and socket and move in pretty much every direction. So we can work on moving them in every direction. That's really going to help us with better range of movement when we're running, open up our stride, more stable, strong hips. So keep driving those knees towards each other and gently release. Bring your legs parallel. Cross the right ankle over your left thigh, push the knee away, and then we reach behind the left thigh or over the left shin and hug those legs towards you. Another glute stretch, fingers in the back of the glute and the hip, hugging those legs down towards you whilst keeping that knee open. You might find a gentle rock to the side here is good. Find if I lean a little bit to the left, it deepens the stretch. Hug them closer again, and then gently release. Let's swap over. Left foot over right thigh, push the knee away, reach behind the right thigh or over the shin and hug those legs towards you. Notice if each side feels different or are they more or less the same. Again, a gentle rock side to side can feel really nice. If it doesn't feel nice for you, don't do it. Totally optional. Hug them closer again. And gently release. Then come up to seated to finish. You're going to take right foot, cross it over the left knee there, and left knee is over right foot. So knees and feet are stacked. If that doesn't work for you, just cross your legs, but still have the right knee over the left foot. Okay, so we've all got right knee over left foot. Keep those hips down. We're going to go away from the top knee. So we've got the right knee, so our left hand's going to come down. We're going to lean towards the left. Now we're going to take it further away, maybe we'll take your elbow down. But what we don't want happening is that hip coming up. That hip stays down. You can even push on your knee. Feel that stretch in the side of your hip. When we're there, we take our right hand, brush our right ear and reach over to the left. Keeping the chest forward. It's a great side stretch. All these muscles around the hips can get very tight. The hips are the center of our movement. We're putting a lot of pressure through the hips when we're running. It's really important we focus on all the major muscles around there to release, not just the glutes. Great, feeling like going to the side, the lower back, the glutes a little bit. So you can reach a little bit further. And then very gently we'll bring it back up. And we swap over. So this time, left knee is over right foot. Maybe you can have the feet and knees stacked, or if your legs are crossed, it's still the same. Left knee is over right foot. Got them stacked. Right hand comes down, so we go away from the top knee. Reaching down, keeping the hip down, maybe push on the knee, keep it down. Then when you're there, we take the left hand, brush the ear, and reach across. Feeling that stretch down the side. So you hold it, you may be able to deepen it, you may be able to bring your elbow to the mat. And gently release. We're actually going to go once more each side. So right knee over left foot. We lean to the left. Drop the hand or the elbow and then reach the right arm over. Keeping the hip down. We reach away. Gently bring it back up. Final time. Right foot, sorry, left foot over right knee, right arm down, hand or elbow, and then reaching over with the left. And gently bring it back up. Put it on the hands and knees. Tuck the toes, send the hips high. Final time, let's pedal the feet. Still the feet, walk our hands back to the feet and slowly we roll up. Take a deep breath in, bring the arms up, and the out breath, we're going to fold. Grab and hold of those ankles, we bring our body towards the front of the thighs. You may need to bend the legs to get there. Then we think about straightening those legs, maybe flex and extend the knees. Then extend, and we take a deep breath in, bring it up. And once more, we're going down. We fold. Relax the head, deep breath in, and up. Take the arms and interlace the fingers, take the elbows wide. Drop the chin to the chest. Create a little pull-up with those fingers. Feel the stretch at the top of your back. Release, hands go behind, interlace behind. We're going to fold. Think about pulling those arms up and over your head. Feel the stretch in the front of the shoulders. And release, bring it up. Then roll those shoulders back and down. Lovely, I hope you all feel better for that and enjoyed that almost 40 minutes worth of stretch and nerve release. And you'll feel much better next time you go out for a run. Now you're well and truly stretched. Thanks very much, everyone.